Okay, at this time, I'd like to call the Budget Committee meeting to order. Ask for everyone to please register their presence.
Four members present. We have a quorum. Correction, five members present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Now, ask for the emergency announcement, please. Blake, please.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you've reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Now I'll ask if there's any input on items on the agenda. Any input of items on the agenda? Seeing none, item D, approval of minutes. These are the approval of the August 7th, 2018 minutes. They're in your packet. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Taylor makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Anderson. Is there any discussion or any questions on the minutes? Please register your vote.
Commissioner Taylor, will you make your motion button?
I did.
You did.
This is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. My other show that
Will be forthcoming.
Five yes, motion passes.
Item E, finance transfers, increases and decreases. Item 1A, resolution 18-09001. This is juvenile court, $14,133.81. These are funds for unplanned retirement payout, as well as 2 weeks training overlap. Do I have a motion to forward this to the agenda committee? Ms. Hannah makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Taylor. Is there any questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, I'll ask the rest of your vote, please.
Five yes, motion passes.
Item 1B, Resolution 18-09002. This is a $10,000 Ready to Be Ready Coaching Network grant. Do I have a motion to forward this to the agenda committee?
Move.
Commissioner Stenick makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Anderson makes a second. Do I hear any questions, or does anyone need any discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask for you to register your vote, please.
Five yes, motion passes.
Item E1C, Resolution 18-09003, GPSF $289,502.46, Safe Schools and School Safety Grant for the school system. Do I have a motion to forward this to the agenda committee?
I'll move.
Commissioner Stenick makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Taylor on the second. Is there any discussion or any questions on this? Any questions or any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask you to please register your vote.
Five yes, motion passes.
Item E1D, Resolution 18-09004, that's Planning and Development, $47,138. This is to add an additional administrative assistant due to the added increase of taking over the Maryville Planning's growth boundaries. Do I have a motion to forward this to the Agenda Committee?
I'll make the motion.
Commissioner Stinnett makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second from Commissioner Anderson. Is there any questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to register your vote, please.
Five yes, motion passes.
Item E1E, Resolution 18-09005. This is a highway, $409,564.27. Funds to purchase 4 backhoes, 8 radios, and a repeater brand. Do I have a motion to forward this to the Agenda Committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Taylor makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Stinnett. Is there any questions or discussion on this?
I have one or two questions.
Okay, will you punch your, get this right? Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I have one or two questions, Mr. Chair, for our highway superintendent. My primary question is around the whole fact that we have almost $500,000 worth for 4 backhoes. And so I'm wondering if you have done any background research on the possibility of renting versus purchase, and how much additional do we really need 4 backhoes would be my question.
Yes, ma'am, we have. And a little bit of a correction to today when we met for a county rate, just out of transparency, a county rate would be about $2,500 a month rental. However, the availability of that particular backhoe with a 4-in-1 bucket that we would need in the event of snow or trees down, the availability at a call for a rental basis is probably slim to none at all. So with that being said, we would end up in situations, snow events, tree down events, that renting one would be hard to get. Also, we've looked at the resale value after the 5-year warranty's up and the 5,000 hours, and what we could get back dealing those particular backhoes, which we could operate those for those 5 years at a very small expense, probably $30,000 a year.
Okay.
So when we have major snow events, using a backhoe and a snowplow out at the same time, or vice versa? Or how does that work?
Yes, ma'am, you're right, at the same time. So the snow plows will be on the trucks. Of course, you have the driver and the plow operator and that. And so what we do and what we've changed in the last 2 years in an effort to stop what we call windshield time or not being responsive to the taxpayers' roads, we will take stockpiles of salt and we'll place them at Duke Cooper's store, over in the valley in Happy Valley, Doc Norton, and up toward Jeffries Hollow and Ellejoy. And so at each one of those stockpiles, backhoes are positioned there. So we put them in 5 zones of snow areas. So when that truck runs out of salt, instead of coming all the way back to 1227 MacArthur, they have it right there in their zone ready to load. And right now, one of the backhoes is 20 years old. It's really hard to start when it's cold, has no compression. And the others, the John Deere cylinders, are lots of times in the wintertime, they're leaking pretty bad. So we feel like this is a safety hazard for the citizens, that we need to be putting the salt down as fast as we can. And that's something we've done different, position us across the county at permission by the property owner.
Any other questions or any discussion, anything else for, go ahead, Commissioner Kennedy.
I'll give Roger a second. Thank you, Chairman. My question, Mr. Hedrick, is these 4 backhoes, are they used every day, every 2 days, every 3 days? How often are they idle?
The proper answer to your question, we don't like them to be idle at all. And so right now what we do with our staff, we have the ability to stand up 3 full-time tiling crews, okay? That 4th backhoe gets used during the day. Believe it or not, we'll have a tree come down. There's not been a rain event. There's not been wind. And so there'll be a crew take that older backhoe and cut that tree and load those. Going forward in the future, we need to stand up 4 full-time tiling crews, because to be fiscally responsible, before we spend all this money and thousands of dollars of paving, we replace the tile if it's eat up. So to answer your question, it's 3 for sure, and 1 quite often. Oh, come on now. Don't you start with short jokes.
Okay, my response to that, and the reason I asked that is,
Yes, sir.
being in the construction business myself, I don't want you to rent anything that we use every day or every week. We rent things that we don't use but just a few times a year. So I'm with you. I support the fact that you need these. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
While you're up here, on the receiver van, what are y'all doing now for your radio communication? Is this complete overhaul?
Well, actually, no, Commissioner Cotter. We have several of the radios, and they work wonderfully, but we only have one repeater.
Right.
So what the second one does, and you'll understand this, is with that one, everybody's on one band. And so the asphalt crew, tiling crew, mowing crew, when they try to talk to somebody, we have several Jeffs, unfortunately. We have several renditions of Morganton Road, Morganton Boulevard. And so one person can say that, and another crew that's not involved could hear it and try to react, and that's happened. And so with this second repeater, going into the winter, and as we pave and mow and all the things we do, asphalt crew will say be on A, tiling B, striping C, tree crew on D, what have you. So it just splits that up, and it makes us to...
Where's it going? Check it out. Where's the big?
It'll go back on the same property in Townsend, I think Tower Road. Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion and a second on this? Please register your vote.
4 yes, 1 no, motion passes.
Thank you. Resolution 1809-006, capital project bridge, $12,657. This is transferred from highway fund to the Kendall Springs Bridge project due to actualities coming in higher than the budget. So I have a motion to forward to the agenda committee.
I make the motion.
A motion from Commissioner Stitt, do I have a second?
Second.
From Commissioner Taylor, do I have a second? Any questions or discussion on this? Ask that you register your vote, please.
5 yes, motion passes.
Item E1G, Resolution 18-09-008. This is for the Blount County Animal Center, $1,200. This is donation funds to be used to repaint and repair certain walls at the Animal Center. Do I have a motion to forward to the Agenda Committee?
So moved.
Commissioner Anderson moves. Do I have a second?
Second.
And seconds, is there any questions or discussion on this? Does anyone have any questions or discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to register your vote, please.
5 yes, motion passes.
Thank you. Item E-H, Resolution 18-09-009. This is for Veterans Treatment Court. This is $12,785, and this is an increase in a grant that was awarded. Do I have a motion to forward this to the Agenda Committee?
So moved.
Commissioner Stitt makes a motion to move it to the Agenda Committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Anderson. Any other questions or discussion on this? I ask you please register your vote.
5 yes, motion passes.
Item F, discussion, possible action items, grant application, F1, grant application request, F1A, grant application, this is from the Register of Deeds, this is a $5,000 grant, Tennessee State Library and Archives grant for scanning and binding of old books. There is no match. Do I have a motion to forward this to the Agenda Committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Ms. Hannah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Stitt. Is there any questions or any discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to please register your vote.
5 yes, motion passes.
Item F1B, grant application. This is also from Register of Deeds, $2,528. This is the State Board Programming Grant for scanning and binding of old books. There is no match on this from the county. Do I have a motion for this to the Agenda Committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Hannah makes a motion to forward this on. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Anderson. Do I have any discussion or any questions on this grant? Seeing none, I ask you to register your vote, please.
5 yes, motion passes.
Item C, grant application. This is from the Circuit Court Clerk's Office, $34,205 for courtroom security. There is a match required, and this is a non-reoccurring grant. Do I have a motion to forward this to the Agenda Committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Taylor makes the motion to move. Do I have a second?
Second, Chairman.
Second from Commissioner Stitt. Is there any questions or discussion on this grant?
Chairman, the money in this, sorry, sir. How's that, sir? Question on this, this money, where's this money coming from?
This is a grant, but it does have a match to it.
Right, and where's the match money coming from?
Mr. Benny, would you like to answer that, please, or I'm not sure.
We are asking for an increase in our budget of the $3,400 we have to provide a 10% match. And I mean, versus the $34,000 to reach the courtroom security minimum. We feel like since the circuit judge budget was cut $9,000 this year, we don't feel like we will have the excess that we've had in the past, and so we were asking for an increase of that.
So this is a 10% grant?
Yeah,
Match on that?
10% match, yes.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you. No other questions, no discussion. I ask you to register your vote, please.
5 yes, motion passes.
F2, D, grant application, Blount County Sheriff's Office, $43,409.95. This is a grant for 5 interoperable radios and associated costs. There is no match required, and this is a recurring cost. This is a recurring grant. May I have a motion to send this on to the agenda committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Anderson, motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hannah seconds this motion. Do I have any discussion or any questions on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you please register your vote.
Five yes, motion passes.
Okay. Item F2, these are items for information only. F2 is revised resolution 1808005, Highway Capital Fund.
You good? That's a vote.
That's $750,000, a high priority project, HPP. This is the Morganton Road project. The money is already there. This should be, all we're doing is moving this from 186 into Fund 176. This is just a revision on where that item shows up in the budget. Do I have a motion to send this on to the agenda committee?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion from Ms. Hannah. Do I have a second?
So moved.
Commissioner Taylor, seconds. Is there any questions or any other discussion on this? Seeing none, I'll ask you to please register your vote.
Five yes, motion passes.
Thank you. Item G, this is financial reports for information only. They're in your packet. Item H is, if I have no other business, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn.